G'day folks. Well, this is the Hilux Part 4 conversion, Holden 253 cubic inch, and we'll be putting a turbo on it, a rear mount turbo. And we've just gone and in the last, it's been about a few days, we've been mucking around on and off on it, and we've got the engine mounted in, sitting in there now. So, by geez, we fluffed around with the guys to get it right. It wasn't an easy job, but considering there is a reasonable amount of room in it, I was actually very surprised. It's a little bit tight up the back there, but we're going to sort of modify that a little bit, so we've got a little bit more room. And that header pipe sort of is a little bit snug against the chassis rail there, but we're just going to do a little bit of massaging there to gain a bit of clearance. But this side here is plenty of room. It's awesome. I used the Holden rubber mounts, and they gave us, it was just like a plate. It sort of bolted onto the chassis of the Hilux. Yeah, and we just fluffed around there and sort of grafted it on and welded it up, and it works really well. All there is two bolts, because I welded the nuts on the plate, so it's only basically 2 bolts, and you can pull the engine out. You can leave the main rubber mount on the engine, and it's quite easy. It's very simple and very solid. So we got it near perfect, guys, about 1 millimetre. I've centred it up, but it's about 1 mil out, which is nothing really. And I worked with a level. The body, I sat it up there and got a reference off that, and we worked it off the engine. So we've got it pretty much spot on. Very, very happy with it, guys. So we're stoked. We've got this far with it now, and it's given me a bit of motivation now to keep sort of chipping away and doing little things to it. We've got a plan what we want to do, guys, with the radiator. We really got talking about it in the last few weeks, and we've decided we're going to mount the rad in the back of it. So he's got like a comp tray. It's just a flat tray, and we're going to design it so we could run the rad in the back. Our idea is to get some air from up underneath, duct some air to come up through the radiator, and of course I've got a really nice Davies Craig. Well, I've got 2 of them. I've got a 16-inch and a 14-inch, and I'm going to run it on this rad here. This is actually out of my ute, so we'll have a 14 and a 16 mounted on there, and we're going to run the rad off the back of it. There's a bit of method to this madness, guys, because at the end of the day, there's not enough room in the front. A lot of guys that we've been talking to that have done the same conversion run into overheating issues big time with it. The guy that we bought the kit off, he had overheating issues, and we sort of thought about it, and we'd end up having to cut too much out of the side here to fit the Holden radiator in, and he's got a bull bar on the front of it, and that sort of restricts a bit of flow. And it's just, look, at the end of the day, I just said, look, Jess, why don't we mount the thing out the back, unrestricted? It keeps the weight off the front of it, because we want to mount the battery in the back of it, and keep wiring to a minimum inside the engine bay here, and it sort of keeps it tidy, and I think it's going to work really well. Keep very cool. I've got an idea in the back of my head, so as I progress on with it, guys, I'll explain it all. I'm going to put my old camshaft that was in my 308 into this engine. We're going EFI for, it's like a throttle body, but it's an EFI setup. I want to sort of learn that, guys. I really want to jump into that, and because eventually I would like, maybe down the track, if this is a success, applying it to my own car. So it's going to be good. It's going to be fantastic. My son's so keen on it, guys. He's really he's just gone to the next level. He thinks I'm a little bit slow on it, but I am methodical. I said to Jess, look, I've really slowed down a lot now, and I like to do things at a slower pace and do it right, to the best of my ability. And he was so chuffed today when we had this engine all sitting there like that on its own, and he was very, very stoked, because it did take a little bit of time, but the results are showing, guys. So that's what I'm trying to teach him, folks. Patience, and to do a really nice job with this rig. It may take another year, year and a half. It doesn't matter, as long as it gets done right the first time. And with my bit of experience now, my son is in good hands. He sure is. All right, guys. Well, there you go. The engine's sitting in. I'll hopefully have another little update in the next couple of weeks, and I said to him, get the wheels on it. And he's got a bent steering arm. I said, we'll straighten that out, take it back out and clean the bloody thing down properly, because it's just every time you touch it, dirt falls out of it. So we're going to have another crack at cleaning this thing again, bring it back in, and we'll have a fiddle around with the clutch, and we'll have the motor in and out a few more times, and oh God, it's probably going to come out another dozen times, but yeah, we're going to fiddle around with the clutch, and I want to build a nice little see if I can start fabbing up an exhaust system for it in readiness, guys. All right, I'm blabbing on a bit now. I'll put some more updates when we move forward on the car, guys. I hope you're enjoying this little build. It is taking a while, but I think it'll be worth it at the end of it. All right, folks. Catch you later.